The sixth concept says that you cannot state that an individual's moral character is necessarily determined by the individual's race or sex. Think back to the definition shared at the start of this video, as this may help you think through this concept a little more. The seventh concept limits you from saying that an individual, by virtue of the individual's race or sex, bears responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. The bill is very clear that this should not be taught either in training or curriculum. However, if you walk away from a training or lesson and feel this way, that does not mean there was a violation of the law, assuming that the concept was not explicitly taught. The eighth prohibited concept says that any individual should feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of that individual's race or sex. What that really means is that you can't teach that individuals should feel distress, but it doesn't prohibit that feeling as a natural consequence of discussing difficult concepts. Just like Concept 7, if you walk away with that feeling, but the concepts were not explicitly taught, that is not a violation of House File 802. The ninth prohibited concept states that you may not state that meritocracy or traits such as hard work ethic are racist or sexist, or were created by a particular race to oppress another race. Again, this is where the intent of the message is really important. While you can't teach a specific concept, the law does not prohibit teaching or discussing whether that concept resulted in oppression of another race. If questions come up from an employee or a student during the discussion on whether that was the intent of the concept, the speaker may respond to that question. The last prohibited concept states that any other form of race or scapegoating or any other form of race or sex stereotyping is prohibited. You can tell that's a little vague, and it's meant to be that way. The Department of Education guidance states that this provision is implicated only if an individual is expected to feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress because of that individual's race or sex. Those feelings can come up and are allowed to come up under this bill when talking about difficult things. This bill does not prohibit those natural feelings. What it does prohibit is assigning blame to individuals or saying that you should feel some way because of your race or sex.